Welcome to the Improve and Have Fun podcast. My name is Paul V. Perez, and on this podcast, I work on improving myself while having fun along the way with the hopes of encouraging you to do the same. And I do so by documenting my life and interests. I am here with Mark and Jason. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good. Good to see you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't been to a movie with Mark in a minute.
It's been a while.
But tonight we saw Free Guy.
Yeah.
And of course, I want to hear your guys' thoughts first. I have a whole bunch of stuff I want to talk about. But Mark, I haven't seen you in a while. Your thoughts first. Like, what do you think about Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds, you gotta respect this guy's comedic style. I don't find everybody ha-ha funny. Ryan Reynolds just brings so much fun. And it's just like, you're going to laugh. You're going to bust out. And I know you were busting out laughing over it the whole movie. And it's just like, it was
well written.
A fun, engaging movie. The plot was a little cheesy, and it took me a while. It took me until half the movie to figure out what's the connection. Because I even told Jay, I'm a little confused as to how does this guy know, like, it's real life, AI. When are we going to have that big, reveal? And then it took until half the movie where it's like, oh, now I get it. I'm like, because how is he so, like, how does he know, oh, this is real life and this is one's outside the game? Like, how does he know all this? And it's like, oh, now I understand what's going on. It's AI. And there was a connection. I don't know if you guys watch Westworld.
Yes, the HBO Westworld.
I was like, oh, wow. You guys are like, oh, well, I see these, what do they call them, NPRs?
NPCs. Non-playable characters.
Yes.
Non-playable characters.
And I was like, okay, now I see a little connection with Westworld where it's like, oh, normally I just go in there and shoot them up, but now I have a different approach when I interact with these characters. And I was like, oh, there's a Westworld connect here, really.
Westworld, right? It's like the robots are just set in a particular routine.
Yeah.
And then like humans, they pay. It's almost like a vacation, and they can kill them, they can have sex with them, they can do whatever, and live this scenario. And this is kind of similar in the sense like these people, they're expendable.
I expected cheesy. It was a little bit of cheesiness. I ain't gonna lie. It's Ryan Reynolds. That whole narrative in the beginning, like, well, you're kind of wondering how I got here. Well, this is what my life is, and I'm gonna walk.
It starts off very like, am I gonna like this?
Very Deadpool kind of thing, though. It started off, and I was like, is this gonna be that kind of Ryan Reynolds movie? And I was like, okay. The first 15 minutes was like. And God bless Mariah Carey, because oh my goodness, if you love her, you're gonna enjoy the first 20 minutes of this movie.
Like you said,
she got her royalties from this one.
The joke, the soundtrack, it was just Mariah Carey.
The whole way through.
Oh yeah, but it was. I enjoyed it.
I was thinking like a triple feature, right? To see Ready Player One, Detective Pokemon, or was it Detective Pikachu?
Yes.
Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
I forgot about that.
And this movie would be a great triple feature. Yeah. And then Ryan Reynolds is the voice of Pokemon, right? I mean, Pikachu.
Yeah.
This was really good. There's a lot of, especially if you're into games. I like the fact that we were talking about that. They actually put on like real life YouTube or like Twitch players,
streamers.
Streamers, yeah.
Something like I saw, the one I noticed was Ninja. Anybody who was like kind of sitting behind the chair and talking, those were real life streamer people.
And then that one girl, Pokemon
or
something,
I've never heard of her, but she seemed as well like a real like.
No,
she is. That plays games and streams.
Yeah.
The people that they were interviewing kind of outside in the public, they were just people,
Okay, right.
No, just like you said.
Well, don't forget Alex Trebek in there as well.
Yeah, which is. Which is why I asked, during the movie, I was like, Paul, this was supposed to come out last year, right? Because for him to be in the movie,
that's what I was going to say.
It had to be planned for last year.
They definitely showed it for
and then
it
was like a fourth quarter release
plan. Okay.
The way I knew it as well is like when they would show these YouTuber, like Twitch people, like the dates on their streams were saying like December 11, 2020. So it's kind of like they wouldn't date it so far away from like the movies release date. But I'm sorry.
But the comedy was really good. It was well written, clever. If you're into video games, it's really fun. My only thing I would say is like what you're saying, like it's a little cheesy, Mark, like the storyline. And then I think also there's no real conflict where you start to care so much of what the problem is and what they need to do to overcome something. Like there's no real conflict. Taika Waititi is in this as the guy who's like the bad guy, right? The main bad guy.
I thought he would have some henchmen or something. He's just like, security, can you please escort him out the building?
Yeah, and he's really good.
I think like some guys are gonna come and grab him up and try to like put him in the back room and try to get. I don't know, but I'm like.
Right. So that's my only thing about it. That I would say a negative thing. But other than that, it was very fun. It was great to see it with you guys, and we laughed a lot. It was a bunch of fun. Yeah. Well, what did you think of it?
I've been a gamer for all my life. Seeing this movie, there were a ton of little video game nods to actual video games. Like I saw the tank. That one scene they showed it.
Oh yeah,
That was from Halo.
Right.
It was like the guy's laptop. It had an N7. That's from a game called Mass Effect.
Yes.
There's a gun that he was shooting in the end, and it was like a nod to Portal. I would say that the best video game movie I've ever seen was Ready Player One. I love that movie. Like we saw it together.
I would agree.
Yeah, that was so good.
And this is a very close second. The way that they're different is Ready Player One was like a Spielbergish adventure movie with young people. You know,
we saw in 40X, right? And it was like flying everything around.
Yeah.
You know, Spielberg is a good director for this kind of stuff, where it's like everything's going.
Adventure,
the action scenes.
And what this movie is, it's another movie that I think it deserves to be seen in theaters.
Yeah.
This is a summer popcorn.
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
In the sense of like, okay, so you have your romance, you have this big adventure. And then you have like these feel-good, almost like emotional moments of like, you know, you can be whatever you want to be, and that, you know, you can have your like,
right.
There is true love, like these kind of Hollywood tropes.
Yeah, this would be very good to see in the
This
theater.
formula that of movie that we've seen since we've been kids, it always works. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it works, yeah.
You have the romance, you have the adventure, the guy gets the girl, there's feel-good moments and messages, like feel-good messages, wholesome kind of messages. And this movie has all of that. I would say my complaint with the movie was that the female character, she's supposed to be like some kind of like super like computer techie person, but I don't think she's ever had scenes that she was that. You saw that with Joe Carey, like.
Absolutely, but I did not see it with her.
Yeah,
right.
So I don't like. She says that she is that, but she doesn't come off as that.
I got a support character from her.
Right.
She's a very strong support
but
character.
she was good. Like
she was great.
Yeah,
absolutely.
She sold what Ryan Reynolds' kind of discovery and like kind of like this wonder of like, am I real? She sold that. You know what I mean? She helped to sell that. And this whole another trope of the person in the new world. This is what I think made Wonder Woman, the first one, so successful. She was this stranger in a new world,
right?
And like, you
know, it was like discovering everything,
exactly.
right?
And that's always kind of fun because they're very innocent, childlike in that sense.
Yes.
You got that with Ryan Reynolds. So this movie did a lot of really good
things like this, yeah. And the visuals are amazing.
The visuals are amazing,
Absolutely.
but then it had a lot of adult humor.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Folks in our age range of 30s and 40s, we get the humor.
Yeah.
Because I think this is what Ryan Reynolds' like strength that he plays to. He was great. We were laughing throughout the whole thing and having a great time. This is the second best video game movie I've ever seen. I haven't seen Sonic because a lot of people like Sonic. I didn't see Detective Pikachu. A lot of people like that too.
Yeah.
But being just someone who's been a fan of games for a long time, now having like video games just put into this story of adventure, which is what it is, and having that blend together really well. I just think it took a long time for video game movies to actually be good. At movies that just had a real good like video game kind of component.
Sure, because there's so many of duds, right? There's so many.
So I think Ready Player One, to me, presently is the best video game movie I've ever seen, and this is a very close second where you can see this movie with people that are not video game players, both of those movies, and they'd be like, this was so good, and this was so much fun, and this is an adventure, and like we grew up with these kinds of movies, like an Indiana Jones or like a Star Wars, and not a new idea, but that these are movies that anyone can enjoy, but it just has this other component where modern day kids that are younger than us can understand. I understand, like, you know, these video games, and Star Wars, and there's an Incredible Hulk, and there's a Captain America homages, which I think were like we were talking about.
Yes.
This is probably inserted into the movie after the 20th Century Fox acquisition, because I don't think Free Guy would have had the ability to do that.
I wanted to know if that's what I was trying to figure. I'm like, are they allowed to put that shield, and then we got the whole
exactly. So, like,
lightsaber. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Memes in the background.
Yes.
So much fun. I cannot recommend this movie enough. It's funny, all these HBO Max movies that, you know, have been like day and date released at the theaters, a lot of them to me have been duds, or just they've been okay. They haven't been like incredible. But this is one of the best movies I've seen this year in 2021 that was just totally entertaining. And I don't think you could take little kids to this, but
I wouldn't.
Yeah, but for a
13 and older
year old that's grown up with video games all throughout his life,
then
these
absolutely
kinds of adventure movies, this hit on so many spots for me personally, so I really enjoyed this. But we're gonna go around one more time, guys. We're gonna give a score, but any final thoughts as well? So
this high, I give it an 8.7.
That's still very high.
It is very high. Normally, I'm in the 7s range for a lot of movies because I'm a hard critic. But you know, I'm watching this movie, and I don't know if there'll be more down the line. Like almost like a Wreck-It Ralph kind of movie where it's just like, we go through the motions every day, and oh my goodness, I can break out of these four walls, and I'm more than this, and I have this realization of.
Great point.
So I'm like, they're gonna be more like
that. You can't touch that button.
Right.
Like, it's kind of like the time travel button.
Yes.
You can't do time travel in every movie.
Right.
You can't touch this same button in this video game movie. Like, oh yeah, like discovering the new world. There's more to this than. Great point.
And I thought that's what this was going to be, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to tie it in a little bit because Ready Player One wasn't really like, oh, I'm in these four walls. And it's like, it's more of an immersive. And I've been watching more anime lately, so it's just like,
like VR.
Exactly. And like really just immerse yourself in. 8.7. I really didn't care for the bad guy. I don't know. I just feel like if you're going to have a bad guy, there could have been a little bit more. With the conflict, it could have been. I don't know. Right. The whole thing of just, I find out what you're doing. You're trying to undermine me, take my company from me. Security, can you escort him outside, please? And I'm gonna go in here and just kind of do something. I'm like, I feel like there should have been a little bit more where it's like,
something with more teeth.
Yeah, there was no teeth. Very, very kitten-like. It was like, okay, all right, that was all right. You got the basics in there, but I just want a little bit more.
Yes, I would say 8.2 would be my score, and the reasons why I didn't rate it higher is because the lack of bigger conflict, and you are like scared of anything happening. It's not there, because you just don't see it. But it is a lot of fun. And I noticed after we got our tickets that there's also showings in 3D. So this might be a great movie to see in 3D as well. So that might be worth it. What do you say, Paul?
One of my favorite movies I've seen this year. And I'll be honest with you, I'm okay with Taika Waititi and also the real world scenario because, I mean, in video game news, there are a lot of stories. There's a recent story where Blizzard, the people who make the Diablo games, like there was a walkout by the employees because they were saying the management is super abusive. And then there's a whole thing of grind. So seeing Taika Waititi as like kind of the villain in this big video game company, which is called Tsunami, which sounds a lot like Konami, who made
or Toonami or something like that. Yeah, Konami, right?
I was okay with it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost a little bit of a real world kind of scenario. But then again, Taika Waititi, he's joy. Honestly,
he's bringing over the top joy. Yeah,
he's so funny in the movie. He's in only half the movie too. He's not even in the first half. You don't even see him.
Right.
But this guy is like one of the biggest dudes in Hollywood right now. I mean,
he's a big time director. He did Jojo Rabbit.
Rabbit. He's working on The Mandalorian. He's doing Marvel stuff. You see him in DC stuff. He wrote a script for a Star Wars movie that's possibly in the.
Yeah, and he might do the live action Akira. That was in the
He's doing the next film.
And then also he's talking about, I don't know, there's words online talking about him being involved with Green Lantern Corps. So that's like crazy.
This guy's like one of the hottest dudes in Hollywood right now. And the funny thing is, like, he always has these little itty bitty roles in these Marvel movies, and in this he is so funny. Yeah. He's so good.
Oh yeah,
I really enjoyed him. So,
from New Zealand, right?
Yeah, from New Zealand. You know, like this is, like I said, one of the hottest dudes in West Hollywood right now. But the movie's full of surprises, cameos with people like Channing Tatum, who's not even billed.
Right, that's true. We forgot to mention him. Yeah, he was great. He's hilarious in it. It was so funny.
A lot of surprises, so much fun. A movie that...
Great dance moves he did.
This is one of those movies you could throw in the background when you're cleaning in your house.
Yes.
And just let it play.
Yeah.
Like an Armageddon or like a Star Wars. Like, this is one of those kinds of movies. That's how enjoyable it is. I see this movie has a lot of replayability. So this is an 8.9 for me.
There you go.
Wow. There you go.
Like I said, one of my favorites I've seen this year.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I will catch you on the next one.